So I would like to talk about the treatment aspect of coronavirus. As we all know, all the safety precautions as well as preventive measures has been spoken extensively. But many people are inquisitive what happens inside the hospital when the patient goes inside. So I'll be talking about the treatment aspect. So there are 70% of patient population, they're usually asymptomatic. That means they are not having any symptoms and they can be treated at home. But 10 to 15% of patients, they are called mildly symptomatic patients, and they require some sort of oxygen therapy as well as some supportive care. So these sort of patients have to come to the hospital, but they don't require higher care. They can be managed in the ward with minimal oxygen support and supportive care. But the most critical are the 5 to 10% of patients. They will be in a very critical condition. They will have severe respiratory failure, and these patients require intensive care unit setup. So what kind of patients come to the intensive care unit setup? The patients who are in severe respiratory failure, that means they have a lot of breathing difficulty. They require a very high concentration of oxygen, and this oxygen will provide by giving high flow oxygen delivery devices. So devices which are used are, we use a nasal cannula, where we have a small cannulas which are put in the nostrils, which gives a very high flow of oxygen, and it helps in meeting the patient's demand. Alternatively, we also use non-invasive ventilation as well as non-invasive ventilation is nothing but we use a mask as well as the helmet to provide higher concentration of oxygen and also help in helping the respiratory efforts of the patients. When the patients are on these kind of oxygen support, the patient can change the position, wherein we make the patients lie on their stomach, or we make them lie on the sides so that the lungs which are not oxygenated before, they get better oxygen supply. These are called as prone ventilation or side ventilation. In spite of all these, the patient's respiratory effort may not get better. So we might have to use something called as a ventilator, and ventilator adjustment is made, and the patient will be on ventilator giving adequate rest to the lungs, so the lungs will heal. So in spite of all these, the patient's lung may not get better, and in very rare scenarios, in very selected few individuals, there is a modality called as an ECMO, which is also called as extracorporeal membrane oxygenation, wherein you put the patient on an artificial lung machine where the blood gets oxygen from an artificial machine and given back to the patient. It is used only in a very selective patients because the complication rates are very high, and it is just used as a life salvaging measure as a last resort. Not only the respiratory failure, the patients can also develop other complications because of COVID-19. Other than respiratory failure, they can develop renal failure, which mandates dialysis for them. They can also develop cardiac failure, and cardiac support is required. And the COVID also is known to cause a lot of clotting complications, which can be devastating, and this can be treated with anticoagulation, and this all has to be done in an intensive care unit setup. So these are the complications of COVID. Sometimes COVID can also cause what we call as a shock or a multi-organ failure, which is because of the cytokine storm, and this can be treated with many drugs. The drugs which we commonly used are antibiotics, antivirals, steroids, some of the immunomodulators which helps to reduce the immune response, and also sometimes very rarely we use something called as convalescent plasma. So these are the treatment aspects of coronavirus inside the hospital, especially in the intensive care unit. But there are some social implications and aspects as well. What happens is that the patient is already in we have divided the ICUs into COVID and non-COVID ICUs. COVID ICUs are usually reserved for the patients who are already affected with COVID, and non-COVID are the ones where the patients are not with the COVID infections, but there are some other medical complications. So this is mainly done to prevent the cross-infection between the COVID as well as the non-COVID patients. And the other social implication is the patient's family and the patient relatives will not be able to go inside this COVID ICU and talk to them or interact with them. This is because to avoid the cross-infection from patients to the family. So what we have done alternatively is we have done a video counseling. There are some devices where you can look at the patient's face and talk to them when you are not in the ICU, outside the ICU. And even the doctors can update the family members about the patient's condition every day. Most of the COVID complications are treatable, but you need a well-equipped ICU and a very well-trained staff, provided early recognition and treatment is very essential. Nothing is impossible. With working together, we can make this win against COVID possible. Thank you.